Hi there, everyone. This is Lilith. Welcome to another one of my YouTube and Facebook Lives. I hope you can all see me and hear me because I'm not really sure. So if you could just pop in and wave hello, that would be lovely. I'm going to check. Seems that I'm live, so it should be okay. Hello, everyone. So nice to be with you today on this lovely Monday evening here. It's 10 p.m. So I hope some of you can come and join and craft along with me today. It's been a while since I've been on here. Hi, Sue. You didn't miss the live, Rosie. It's just half an hour later because I do have evening classes on Monday. So I teach my evening classes. I get home at 10:30 and then I can do this little live at 10 o'clock. Hi, Teresa. I'm fine. I'm happy to be here. Hi there, Kim. Hi there, Roberta. Thank you, Strawberry, for sharing. So a lot of you are regulars here on our YouTube and Facebook Lives. And so you know that if you share, we will pick a lucky winner at the end of this live session. Hi, Bethany. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Brina. No, you weren't late. No, it was. So if I do these on Mondays, I usually do a half an hour later because I've got evening classes. So otherwise I just have to run. I usually stop evening classes at 9:10, 9:15. And so I drive home, I get here at 9:30, and then I set everything up so that I can be with you at 10. Okay, so let's get started. So don't forget to share while we are live, and we will pick a lucky winner at the end of the show. So I hope you're all doing great, that you had a great start to the week. Mine was a little I was a little bumpy because we started school again today after a 2-week break. And I forgot that I had one lesson at one point. And so the students came looking for me in the teacher's room, which was a bit silly. I kind of got days mixed up. But other than that, it's been a really good day and a good start to our new teaching semester. So today I'm going to focus on a lovely crafted flower set. I'm going to show it to the screen here. So we're going to be using the Open Peony crafted flower set. I've been using crafted flower sets a lot lately because they're super easy and super fun to use. I don't have to worry too much about lining up and inking and things like that. And they're just a great size for scrapbooking and for card making overall. I see. Yeah, it's been a while. I kind of, my funny head, I kind of missed the last one, but I have had some family issues. So my dad passed away in March, and then my grandmother passed away in October. So it's been a kind of a bit of a rough time. And I haven't really had the time to do the Facebook Lives, but I'm back now. So there we go. I don't know who's behind the Ultimate Badge today. Sorry, I forgot to check. So hello, Ultimate Badge. There we go. So we're going to be using this set, which is a lovely set, and it's a really big flower. As you can see, the dies are really big. And they are perfect focal points if you want to make a quick card. Oh, thank you, everyone. I love virtual hugs. Yes, it's been very hard, but we're a very tight family, and that's very important. And so, and I know all of you have been thinking of me as well, so that has helped loads. So we're going to be using this lovely set. So I've got this pulled out. I have also, oh, it's Hannah. There we go. So say how. I've also got some sticky paper from Altenew. So this is the double-sided sticky paper that you can use. I'm going to show you how you can use it for our crafted flowers, which these are perfect to use with this kind of paper, just making the gluing part a lot easier. So that's the main focus today. As for papers, I've taken some gradient cardstock, but this is all I had left in the purple shades. So I've got 3 the same color and then this a darker shade, so we'll have to do. And I also went through the Soft Washer 6x6 paper pack. I can show you the back. So these are all the papers you get in the paper pack. And I picked one with some lovely purples in it as well, which you can see here and there. So I thought I can use those as well for my florals. And I also picked out two other pattern papers. I don't know, remember from which pattern pack they were. So once again, it's got these kind of purple tones. This one is fun because it's a gradient. I think this one is called Gradient. I don't remember the name. And then I also picked this lovely green one for my leaves. So there we go. I've also got out some white cardstock, and then I've taken, I don't know if you can see it on screen, but this is kind of a speckled cardstock from Old New. I don't remember the name either. Sorry, I'm very bad at this. But it's kind of a creamy, soft color, and it's got lovely little speckles in it. And I think it's fun to use this one as well. I've pulled out the sketch lines stencil and also the flower bed embossing folder. Oh, there's a combo on sale. Yeah, I know. I have to buy some more, but I'm really bad at buying stuff at the moment. I'm kind of saving for a kitchen. So I'm using what I've got left. So one thing you should know about me is I've got lots of products and I'm really wary of buying new stuff because I've got so much to use up. And I love the gradient cardstock, but as long as I still have lots of papers, I'm not going to buy anything new. So I'm just going to use what I've got on hand. And I thought it might be fun to show you as well. So I'm going to pop you down and we can start crafting. So just going to switch my screen. There we go. There we go. And there we go. You should see my screen pop up now. Can you see it? I'm not moving. It's not moving. Okay, let's do this again. Okay. Let's pop back myself. Okay, so this you can see. I don't know why it won't show me my other screen. Let's just check. Oh, it was working. Why is it frozen? Oh, it's working. There we go. The camera was. So I think it's working. Yay. So let's start. So I've got my set over here. I hope I don't freeze. My camera is being a bit funny. So I don't know why. So we're going to pull out our different elements. I love this set because there aren't too many dies. So you've got this kind of very detailed one with all the little detailed images. So we've got that one. Then we've got all the petals of our peony. There's an echo. Okay, let me see. How can I do this? Okay, there's an echo. Is there still an echo now? I don't know if somebody can come in and tell me if there's an echo now. Nope. Okay. Fine. Let's continue. So let's keep on just pulling off our little dies here. And what's fun about these is they are numbered. No echo. Okay. I don't know if there was any interference from my my computer, but I just switched off the sound, so it should be better now. So I've got all my dies laid out. These I'm going to use for the leaves. So I'm just going to cut this in half because I'm using my little mini blossom tool. So embossing and die cutting tool. And I just dropped a die. It's so neat. Let's pop it back on. So I'm already going to place my leaves on there, which means they're ready to go. And I'm just going to cut this paper in half. And I'm going to do it the Lilith easy peasy way. I'm just going to fold it in half because I can only get the 3-inch papers through my machine. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and cut them. I don't know why, but my camera keeps switching off, which is very annoying. There we go. So that's done. I'm going to have to keep an eye on my screen. I don't know why it keeps freezing. So there we go. So I'm just going to glue these down. Let me just check something here. Should be okay. So I'm going to glue these, well, not glue these down. I'm going to make sure that they don't move around while I pull them through my die cut machine. So I always start off with the leaves. And there we go. Just because they're easy to do and then they're ready. So I'll have different colored leaves. There we go. Oops. Oh, sorry. That's the camera going a bit berserk. There we go. So I've got those ready to go through my die cut machine. Let's make sure that they fit on the paper. So those are ready to go and I can put them to one side. Okay, I'm going to work on my petals. Now, thank you. Yes, I love this little decal. So it was a leftover. I just popped it on there. The satin masking tape is perfect for adhering dies to a cardstock like this. So I've got my petals, and if you have a look, you can see there's a little arrow, and this will help you line them up nicely. And next to the arrow, you've got a number. So this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 is this the center, and then I've got number 5, and then the others are little accents, which we will add later on. So I have got my cardstock over here. So I'm just going to have a look and see what I'm going to use. So I'll mix these two together. I'll probably stick to the more lighter gradient on this. And I think I'll maybe add the lightest shade here. But I am going to add a little bit of color to this one, just to give it a little bit more interest, to make it a little bit more fun to use. Let's just put those to one side. So I'm going to use some deep iris ink, and lately I've been using my mini ink cubes a lot. So I'm just going to take a little blending brush and I'm going to ink that up with the deep iris. I am going to just pull out my little palette here just to protect my surface. There we go. And I'm just going to add a little bit of ink to this, like so, just to give it a little bit of shading, make it a little bit different than just the plain purple color. So I like using my palette underneath because I can kind of start inking up on there, and then I can just go over it and add a bit of color like so. Just blend it in. And I don't mind if it's a bit darker on one side, a little bit lighter on the other. Sorry, sometimes you might see the screen freeze. That's because my camera switches off, and so I just have to kind of reactivate it again. Sorry about that. So if you want to, and if you've got the time, you could create your own colored cardstock just by taking 4 colored inks and inking up paper, or just use your spray inks as well. That will work nicely too. But I'm just going to kind of use these, which I've got with me. So once again, I'm just going to cut these in half because I do need the smaller size to get them through the machine. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. You could just use a cutting machine, your trimmer, but I am just going to fold and cut as so. Oh, here's my purples. Oh, I can use these. There we go. So different shades. Let's just see how I'm going to use these. Oh, I prefer this one, like so. Okay, let's go with those. So I'm going to place my dies, and I'm going to do this quite randomly, like so. And I might just mix them up a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, there we go. I love these papers. And I love using them up. Sometimes I've got pattern papers and I don't know how to use them. And then usually I kind of use them up on projects like these. So then I've got these little accent pieces. Let me just see which I'm going to probably do the more detailed piece here on the darker one. There we go. Or should we do lighter? Let's go lighter. Can I fit it in there? Okay, let's move this one up a bit. There we go. Can I fit you in there? Aha. Yes, it's a squeeze, but we got there. Okay. And then the darker shade, let's pop it on here. And one thing I forgot to do is to add my sticky tape underneath. So I'll do that afterwards. I'm going to put that one on there too. There we go. Whoops. And then let's just go with the center with a lighter element here and some purple. So, and as usual, I have the great idea to use the double-sided paper, and then I forget. So let's get that ready. I will have to take my trimmer out now. I'm just going to cut some 3-inch strips. There we go. I should have done this before popping down the dies, but there we go. That's just me. So let's just cut these in half. My scissors are a bit dirty. I don't know why. There we go. So got 2 strips ready. Let's do the other one as well. Let's go with our double-sided adhesive sheets. There we go. So I'm going to turn these around and just glue my sheets on there. So let's start with the first one. I'll pop my dies back on afterwards. So what you do is you just take off the first element of backing, and then you kind of just, that's, I'm going to kind of line them up like so. Let's line them up correctly. Okay, let's put the dies to one side and do this correctly, Lilith. Up. There we go, up, and just push it down. There we go. And now I can add my dies back on top. I really have to remember to use these sheets more often. Why don't you want to stick? Stick. Stick. There we go. Done. Next one. Let's just pop this one over. There we go. Done as well. And the last one. If you don't have the double-sided tape, you could just go ahead and use a glue pen, or even the Altenew roller, adhesive roller can be used for this. There we go. I really have to find out why my camera isn't working correctly. There we go. It's decided to be angry because I haven't used it for a long time. There we go. Let's just cut them out now. So this is super easy. I won't do the leaves because I like to pop them onto some foam tape separately. So those I'm not going to do. So let's go ahead. So I've got my adhesive on there. I've got the cardstock. I've got my my dies. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut them. With these kind of layering dies, I do like to use the metal shim just to make sure that everything cuts out nicely. So usually I do the first plate, the paper, the shim, and then my second plate. Come on. And another trick, and I always forget it, is when you layer them up, don't put the metal shim really on the edge. Leave a little bit of the transparent plate pop out, and then pop on the second one so you can see. And then it will be a lot easier to push through the embossing machine. There we go. If you've just joined us, don't forget to share. There we go. Up. And you might hear it crack. That's really normal. There we go. So here we've got the first ones cut out. There we go. So as you can see, they're a little bit stuck in the die. So I just kind of take the back of my tape, my masking tape, and just pull them out. And you will see you've got the embossed images. You've also got the number, and then you've got your little symbol there, which will help you line them up. So number 3 is done. Let's just pop this one out as 2. Number 4 is done too. There we go. Let's just pop them to one side, and let's continue die cutting them. So I do really want to show you the other techniques with this set. Oops. Ooh. Die cut, die cut. This is kind of... Whoops. There we go. There we go. So this is our little accent over here. Oh, our little petal over here. There we go. And then our another one over here. I love the details on this. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but you can see that in the embossed lines just add that extra bit of detail. So, so pretty. There we go. And then last one for our petals, and then we can start working on the leaves, and then we can combine them all and then make our flower. There we go. Come on. Doesn't want to go through. There we go. Sometimes it just needs a little push. There we go. I was wondering, what is your favorite crafted flower? I've got a lovely new one coming soon. I made 2 or 3 projects with that one. But this is another one of my favorite, just because it's such a large one. There we go. So you can see it's quite common that they stay stuck. So just take the back of the tape, and there we go. It just pops out really easily. So this is the detail one, and in this detailed one, you've got several little dies, so or little die cuts. That you've got this tiny one over here. So be very careful when you pull it out, so that you don't lose any of them. There we go. Let's just pull this off. There we go. So here you can see the larger one. Oh, Peruvian, the daisy looks, yes, the daisy is awesome as well. Oh, another one fell on the floor. There we go. So I've got those all nicely cut out. And last thing we're going to do are our leaves. Fun thing with this one is you could just use the leaves as well. There we go. Thank you for sharing, Joni. I love the Peruvian lily. I think it's a very pretty one as well. And I love the fact that we've got our little, the little symbols on there to help us line everything up. It makes it super duper easy. So here we've got, oh, I don't have that one, Sweet Violet. There we go. So here we've got our little leaves. And just look how pretty those leaves look using the pattern paper. It's really annoying that the screen just keeps freezing. There we go. So you can see how pretty these look. And you've got little folded lines in there. And if you wanted to, you could even just fold along them a little bit, just to give them a little bit more dimension. So that's what I'm going to do now, just before I put everything together. I'm just going to fold along these lines. Oh, peonies are my favorite flowers. I've planted so many in the garden, but they're only 1 or 2 years old, so they have like 1 or 2 blooms on them. Okay. So that's done. So let's put together our flower. Okay. So what I usually do is I just order them by number so that I'm sure that I've got everything ready to go. So that's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 5, number 4 is the center, and then we've got our accents over here. So if you're wondering, and I've lost one of my accent elements. Let's just have a look. I've lost one of them. I don't know where it's gone, but I've lost one of them. Must have fallen out somewhere. I don't know where it's gone. The joys of scrapbooking, the mystery of things that go missing. It's quite odd and strange. Oh, I've got it. On the floor. on the other side of the table. Ah, there we go. Oh dear, I always lose like the silliest things. So let's start. This is number 1. We're not going to take the backing off just yet because otherwise it's going to be quite tricky. So I'm going to start with number 2. Oh yes, I know. Don't talk to me about odd socks. That's horrible here. I don't know where they go. I must say I did find a couple of socks in the garden. I don't know how they got there. So I've taken off the backing, so it's nice and sticky now. And I'm going to go ahead and place 2 on top of 1. There we go. Screen went black again. And I'm just going to make sure that the little arrows line up. There we go. So that's done. 2 on 1. Then I'm going to add 3 on 2. There we go. So we're using, for those of you who just joined, we're using the open peony, Crafty flower open peony. Then I'm going to pop 3 on top of 2. And once again, I'm just going to line up the arrows like so. There must be some kind of little elf taking those little socks. And then 4 on top of 3. There we go. And then we've got 5. 5, you don't have the arrow, but you have, I don't know if I can show it on the screen. You've got like the little end of the arrow there so that you can use that to just line everything nicely up. There we go. And if you're not sure, you can always go back and check on the backing where you've got everything nicely lined up. So there we go. That's correct. Then this is going to cover, okay, it's going to cover this part over here. So I need to cover up my little symbols and my little numbers. So this is going to cover that up like so. And just look at how that has already changed. Just a couple of pieces. There we go. And now I'm going to start adding my little details. So this accent is going to go along here. And you will see you've got the same shapes. So you can just line that up really easily. So I'm just going to peel off the backing. And I've stopped looking for my tweezers. They've gone missing. The elf must have taken them as well. There we go. Like so. So I'm just going to try and fit this correctly. Oops. There we go. Don't know why it doesn't want to line up as I want. Okay, then we're going to do our next one. Let's just pull off the backing. So we're going to follow the lines. There we go. So these are just the outer edges of your floral image, so you can easily line them up. I don't think mine, I think I've got a little issue with my petals. So I'm just going to pull this off and just check if everything has lined up correctly. They seem a little bit off. So I'm just going to do this again. So even with the sticky tape, you can still take it apart. So don't worry about that. Okay, let's just try and do this again. Okay. Go. There we go. That's better. Let's line this up now. So you might be a teeny tiny bit off, and then you will get this issue. Okay, I'm going to be a little bit tricky and just do it like so. There we go. So added my little details, and there we've got our lovely flower. There we go. So using lots of leftovers just to create my lovely little purple flower over here. So let's put together our little card. So I thought it'd be nice just to create a fun background. So I'm going to stop saying so. Let's take some white cardstock. I'm just going to cut this down so that it's a nice size. I'm not going to use my scissors, don't worry. There we go. And once again, I thought it might be nice to use some of our deep iris, which we used previously over here, like so. And I'm just going to create a fun background using my stencil. So I'm using the Sketched Lines stencil, and I've got 2 of them, lucky me. So here you can see one of them, and this is the second one I'll be using. So I'm just going to pop that onto, once again, I'm using this palette just because it's easy to clean and I don't get anything on my work surface. So I'm just going to use a little bit of tape, which I've just rolled over, so it's kind of double-sided, and that way my paper won't move. Some deep iris, my blending tool. Hi there, Gisela. There we go. And I'm just going to blend some of that deep iris all over the card. And I'm not going to go in too much, just want a little bit of a nice detail of the background. There we go. That's enough. I don't need a lot more, just some subtle detail for my flower. So there we go. Got the floral image. I'm going to pop this one. Okay, I'm going to take off maybe the backing here. But I'm going to pop it onto some foam tape anyway. There we go. And I'm just going to put it slightly on a diagonal. And I'm going to use some foam tape as well for my little leaves. I'm using little dots here just to add that extra little bit of dimension. And as you can see, I have folded them over a little bit just to add a little bit more detail. And it does help those little pleated lines stick out just a little bit more. There we go. And one more over here. And it's such a nice, huge flower. You don't need much more on your card. So just going to pop that here. So I am slightly letting the leaves overlap, just ever so slightly. I don't mind that. Usually I give my cards by hand, or I put them in a larger envelope. So there we've got our first little card. And you could add a sentiment. I'm not going to do that now, but I'll just probably pop a little sentiment on top here with some white cardstock. Go with something black so that it stands out. And you could also add some little sequins or some jewels or some enamel dots, whatever you like. There we go. So that's card number 1. There we go. I don't know why my screen is always freezing. I'm so sorry about that. I do hear it. And then I can just click on the menu and it just switches on. So that's the first card. Let's just check and see if we've got time to make a second card. Yeah, I'm going to make a second card. And I'm going to use this kind of speckled cardstock from All Too New. I don't know the name. It's a really lovely color. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it down. So I'm going to cut 2 strips of 3-inch paper, like so. Okay. And then I'm just going to keep one, I'm going to create one panel for my background. Spicy yogurt, that's it. Thank you, Strawberry. You're my savior. I'm really bad with names, and I should have looked it up. There we go. So that's my panel for the background. And I've got my strips here. So once again, I'm going to quickly line up. Before I do that, I'm going to add some vanilla ink to my 2 panels, just to add a little bit of color to it. Very subtle. There we go. I'm just going to take a blending tool. Let me just clean that. Okay. So here I've got vanilla cream, which is a very soft color. And I'm just going to add a little bit of color to my, so that there's just a little bit of color difference. Otherwise, it might be a little bit plain. Oh, that's a bit dark. And don't worry if it looks a bit blotchy, because you won't really see that once you cut out images. Let's just go back in here and blend this out a bit. Okay, that's enough. Let's go. So I'm just going to place my dies on top here. I'm doing this really randomly. I might have to cut a little bit out here. So that's 6, 12. Oh, that's for another die. There we go. Let's just pop them on there. These 2 can go on here. I'm not going to add any tape to this one. Okay, just to show you that you don't need to add the sticky tape. You could also work without it. Okay, let's put this one on there. So I cut down the paper just to make sure that it would fit in the mini blossom. There we go. Cutting it into 6-inch strips. Smaller one on there. Detailed one on there as well. There we go. Whoops. And let's cut. Oh, left one out. Oh, let's put it on there. So let's start die cutting. So first plate, dies down. Metal shim. Second plate, I usually put the thicker plate on top, just so it gives a little bit more pressure. Is the camera working again? There we go. I don't know why it's freezing. I've done everything like I usually do. It is one of these cameras that does have updates, so maybe it's a new update that I haven't seen. I don't know. I have to check. There we go. So it's a little bit hard with all the layers. There we go. So let's just have a look at these. I love these dies and the petals with all the details and the little lines. There we go. Petal number 1, petal number 2. little accent number 1. Pop them to the side, and we're going to cut our second. There we go. If your plate is warping a little bit, I just turn it around. There we go. Shim, second plate, leave a little space at the top. There we go. Sorry, the camera's going to move a bit because I'm using the embossing machine, the die cut machine. Oh, come on. There we go. Little elements. Let's not lose any of them now. Up. There we go. And our second element, and then the smaller one. There we go. Our center. There we go. Up, and now our last one. The camera decided to go again. This is really becoming a bit frustrating. We're nearly there. Ooh. Okay. Oops. So, and we still need a couple of leaves. So let's create some leaves as well. Which have decided that they wanted to go on a vacation. Oh, they're over here. I know, the mini blossom is super handy and very compact. I use it all the time, For the leaves, once again, I'm just going to use the same spicy yogurt. Hi there, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us. There we go. Maybe I'll have enough just with 2 leaves. There we go. And for the leaves, I'm using the sides which haven't got any color on there. So for those who've just joined, I'm using the Open Peony set. I've already created one card over here. Yeah, mine is always on the table as well. My little mini blossom die cut embossing tool. Super duper easy. There we go. I think I might just go with 2 leaves just to make it a little bit easier. There we go. So we can start working on the card. There we go. So just to make our background a little bit more interesting, I thought it might be nice to do some embossing. So we're going to take the flower bed embossing folder, which is my favorite for backgrounds. I will need my larger embossing machine for this. There we go. I know, Sherry, it's a beautiful, beautiful set. So I'm just going to emboss my spicy yogurt cardstock with that. And because it's got that lovely little speckle in it, just with the added embossed image, it will be really, really pretty. There we go. So I'm just going to kind of center it. I just need 1 plate. And I'm going to push that through the machine. Machine freeze again. There we go. That's the first thing I'm going to do at the end of this live, is just to check out why my screen keeps freezing. There we go. And here you can see, I don't know, it's so hard to see on screen, but you've got a lovely finish. And you can go with whatever side you like. If you want to have the embossed image down or the embossed image up. I just think it looks really, really pretty. There we go. So let's start assembling once again our flower. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then our accents, which are here. There we go. So let's start. This time I'm just going to use the Altenew glue roller just to show you that you can do that as well. I usually just add glue to the center. So once again, I'm going to place number 2, they're all numbered, on top of number 1. And just make sure they're nicely lined up this time. Then I'm going to take number 3. And then just make sure they are nicely lined up like so. And because we've got a little bit of that shading from the vanilla on there, you do see the difference between the petals. Our center, which is number 4, which we're going to line up nicely as well. Number 5, here I just add a bit of glue along the sides. Thank you for sharing, Susan. There we go. Look at that. Very pretty. Then our little accent elements here. So this is going to cover my number 5 here. There we go. Pop it here like so. And then we've got our little so these just really follow the edge of the image. There we go. Like so. Looking pretty. Last one. Ah. My camera hates me today. There we go. Come on. There we go. Line up. Ooh, this one lined up nicely. That's good. There we go. So that's our little flower image ready. And now all we have to do is we can pop it on to our cardstock. It's going to be very, very subtle. And then I'm just going to add my leaves. Once again, the leaves and the floral image onto some foam tape. When you are using an embossed background, it's going to be hard to glue anything on there with just normal glue. Foam tape is perfect because it will sit really nicely on the more embossed parts or less embossed parts. There we go. So I'm going to just play around a little bit with the petals, just fold them up so that there's a little bit more dimension to it. There we go. And then I can add my little leaves. So I'm just going to add a little bit of foam on there as well, just to add that little bit of extra dimension. There we go. Let's just pop a little leaf in here and then pop one over there. And it's going to be a really, really subtle card, as you can see here, but with lots of detail. And you do see the difference between the petals, just because I went in there with the lovely, where's my color? I don't know where it went. Vanilla cream. My vanilla cream went for a while. Oh, there it is. It's hiding. There we go. Yes, don't be afraid to kind of fiddle around with your little leaves here, because you've got that kind of center little stripe. You can just kind of fold them up, and the same with the petals. So if we can go, we'll go in here. You will see the flower is quite flat. There we go. And so I'm just going to kind of, once again here, I can just kind of fold the petals up a little bit, just to make it like a little bit more like there's a bit more movement, like there's a kind of a flow in there. And you can even go into the centerpieces and just kind of fold them like they're folding open and closing. That's the special thing about peonies, is that they kind of have lots of petals and they just fold open and close, and they're really, really pretty. So there you've got the 2 cards, very simple, but just using different colors. You can go with a cream, and my screen freezes again. You can go with the cream and just add like some subtle details. And once again, use the same vanilla, the spicy yogurt, a black sentiment, just to make it pop out, and there you go. So 2 simple cards using the same sets. And there are so many more ideas. You can color your cardstock yourself. You could just use the leaves and create a whole background with just the leaves. You can go with different colors. I mean, it's still autumn, it's still fall. You could cut them out in red and oranges and kind of have them falling over a layout or a card. So lots and lots of different ways to use it. And this is a great way to make kind of a very soft kind of whitey flower, but still giving it lots and lots of detail. And I just love this. It's very textured. So there's a lot of things to feel and to touch, which I think is really fun. Yes, very bridal, very elegant like that. So there you have the 2 cards using the Open Peony set. And I am going to switch back to my face. Me again. So these were the 2 cards. I'm going to try and show them with a little bit more light. I don't know why there's something wrong with the camera. I'm going to have to check the lighting and see why it keeps switching off. I'm so sorry for the technical issues. I don't know why, but I'm going to figure it out. So here you've got the 2 cards. I'm going to try and hold them up to the screen here. You can see this one's very subtle. Lots of detail with the embossed background. There we go. Okay, there we go. And then there you've got your lovely purple one with lots of detail, just using lots of different papers. So some gradient cardstock, but I didn't have all the colors. Then some of the soft washes. So don't hesitate to go and look through your cardstock or even your pattern paper and see which pattern papers work together, and you can create these lovely variations in your cards. And no 2 cards will be the same, because you will always have different shades in your pattern paper. Oh, the Linky pedometer. Oh, I'm so I'm so glad I could help you with that. Yes, autocorrect is really silly. There we go. So thank you so much for joining me. If you would like to see any other special products used or any other techniques, you can always ask us anyway. A huge thank you to Hannah, who was able to find all the products I used, and a huge shout out to Strawberry, who gave me some names as well. So thank you very much. I was so happy to be here again today. I am a bit bummed that the camera was playing up a little bit, so I will sort that out for next time, so that I don't have to keep on switching it on and off. Thank you so much for joining me today. We will pick a lucky winner between all of those who shared, and I will see you in December then. Have a lovely day or evening wherever you are. A huge hug from me, and I'll see you very soon. Bye, everyone.